Welcome back. This is Jamie with Formidable Fabrications, and just to address the elephant in the room, yes, this is my new shop, but there'll be videos of that soon enough. But today I want to talk to you about this new saw I bought. So I was pretty excited about it, and if anybody else is interested in these saws, I'll give you some of my thoughts on the saw. So this saw is the 355 14-inch metal mitering chop saw. So I saw this when it first came out and I was pretty excited. So I did buy the original 380 chop saw that came out probably like 15 years ago, and I'll be honest with you, it was an absolute turd. I would never buy that one. But since then, I know they have redesigned their products a lot. So my biggest concern with this saw, which I had with the problem I had with the other saw, was this cracked on me, and the clamp system that they had was subpar. But this looks like a completely redesigned unit with better clamps, a more rigid hinge system. Looks like an all aluminum construction, and it just looks like a very stout saw. So buy once, cry once. I went and picked the thing up, $850 from Amazon, shipped to the house. And putting it together and using it the first time, this was a great saw. I really like it. So I do like the mitering feature of this. It has numbers labeled down here, and it has a very easy to use system. You turn the knob, loosen it, press the button, and slide it. So the only thing I found so far was that when you slide it all the way to the left, it hits this part. So if you have anything taller than this that goes up against the fence, this will hit it. So you can only miter tall stuff in the other direction. That was the only bad thing I found with it. But it does lock in place. It's fully adjustable, so if it becomes out of square, you adjust this screw and that screw, and then you take this whole piece and you slide it back and forth. But there is stops in the metal, and underneath the metal there is a wider stop. So if you do have to adjust it back and forth, there is room for adjustment. So that was pretty nice. The fences are fully adjustable, and they actually give you the Allen key to adjust them quickly. One there and one there. So overall, a pretty good design. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. And then this, I thought was kind of strange when I first got it. But when you're clamping a piece of metal down, it actually works really well. So when you cut this piece of steel, if it's a long one, it doesn't want to shoot up on you. And the other thing too that a lot of people I think were looking at on this saw was the sliding feature. So this is not a sliding miter saw. What this adjustment is for the different styles of metal you're going to be cutting. So I actually took the time and saved the sheet and laminated it. So it tells you if you're cutting a small round, you put it in the very back position. So I guess what they're trying to get at with you is when you put this in the back position and the saw goes down, the blade, let me move this out of the way, the blade, the halfway point of the blade is right by the fence. So you end up cutting with the front part of the saw blade instead of, so it shows you're cutting with the front part instead of the back part, which logically, if you look at it while it's cutting, it does look like it might actually save your blade a little bit. And it gives you these other ones. So if you're cutting a piece of angle face down, you put it in the middle position. Piece of square tube that's flat, you put it in the front position. And if you're cutting square tube, you put it in the middle position, and it's showing you where the alignment of the middle of the blade is. So pretty interesting design. I thought it was going to be a slide out so I could cut thicker steel, but it's not. So it's been good to me. I can't complain. I did take this sheet and have it laminated so I could keep it near, just so I could have a quick reference. And yeah, it's a nice little unit. It's very solid, I will say. So I built this stand. I even put the little thing on the back to hold that blue arm up, but it's really not needed. I could see after a long period of time of using it that it could droop a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty solid. But anyway, and it also comes with these pieces. If you can see them, they slide. They slide over the clamps, so you can adjust if you have a high piece of steel, or you can adjust it upside down for a lower piece. Well, once again, these are only good if you have small square tube, like say 2-inch or smaller. If you have anything bigger than 2-inch, then they don't really become useful. At that point, I just lay the square tube down squarely on it and just push the clamps in. And the clamps, pretty nice little system. You pull them back, you can adjust them in and out. You push it forward, even though that's in the locking position, but you can still push this forward, and then you can turn it to get the final lock on it. And they have little spring-loaded ball bearings. I think that's to hold the pieces in for the square tube. So I did get this piece set up. I'm using the angle pieces on the top clamp and the side clamp to hold that in place. One thing I did forget to mention is that these clamps, once they're loose, can be moved back and forth. It's a pretty good design. So let's cut a piece and you can see how easily this thing cuts. So you can see, very nice square cut, extremely, the camera makes it look a little wobbly, but in real life it's actually very square. And it has a nice cut. It's warm to the touch, but definitely not hot. It does throw chips everywhere. It's supposed to have it's supposed to collect them in the back in there and like fall through the hole, but that doesn't work. Not as well as I think it's supposed to. So I just cleaned this off before I cut, and you can see like there's chips everywhere. So all in all, good machine. Really happy with it. I decided to make this cart too. It has 4-inch locking wheels from Amazon, bolted up to a angle iron frame, and then in the bottom you can see that piece of steel. You can see it right there. That's angled, so when the chips fall down here, they just slide off. That's been very effective. You can see that floor is fairly clean, and that floor has a lot of chips. So that's working. And then I put this backing on there just to help support that. The only thing I didn't think about is when the miter saw turns, there's nothing to support it, so I never leave it in the mitered position. But it was a quick little angle iron frame, about, I don't know, 30 bucks in materials, and I think it was like 10 bucks for the wheels and a couple bolts. And this is actually made to be the exact same height as my roller table, so I can pick this roller table up and move it next to the saw, so I can put this is a 7-foot roller table, so I can put a long piece of steel on here and just keep rolling it gently into the saw if I have to make lots of cuts. So all in all, my thoughts on the saw, it's a good saw. Evolution really came around this time, and their products have gotten better. Like I said, the first saw I bought was 2007, and not impressed at all. Very poor quality machine, but this one I am very hopeful of. I've already made about 50 to 60 cuts on it, cutting in the range of small steel all the way up to this 4-inch C-channel that's on this hoist. I even cut some of these, like this was a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch piece of square tube I cut with it. These 4-inch pieces of C-channel I had cut with it as well. The key is just to go slow on it, and I think you'll be really happy with the saw. Like I said, it's $8.50 on Amazon, shipped to the house. If you have Prime, it's free shipping, which is even better. And it also, you put that down, slide this little piece in, and it locks itself in place. So all in all, great saw. I'm really happy with it. I'd recommend it to anybody. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about the saw. Hopefully I covered everything about it. Oh, and it does have these little holes. I think they're called for dogs. I think woodworkers use these holes more than anything. But yeah, you can put like little accessories in the holes, like make like some kind of jigs if you're doing like production cutting. You can like put stuff in there and like make it so like you just slide the metal up to it and you cut it and you slide it and cut it kind of deal. But yeah, so once again, that's the new Evolution S355 miter metal cutting saw. Good saw, I'd recommend it. So I am sweating like a pig out here. It's pretty freaking hot. I will get to the garage. There's a lot that's been done in here. And the car that I did put the engine back into last year, there's a hole upstairs in the garage, a big hoist system I made. I'm going to get all that on video eventually, but I figure I might as well just hit the elephant in the room since you're going to see it eventually. So, and the tow truck project is coming along. Just a little slower than I thought, and that'll be up on the should be on the next video coming out here soon. So thanks to everyone that's subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll get my act together and get some more videos out. I got so many projects going on and so many things that I just haven't edited yet. I got a ton of videos I can post. I just need to finish editing them. It's a very tedious experience. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.